So Moose, did you see what was going on the news recently? Because obviously we've been talking about what it means to be a man, and there's a lot of misconceptions that's going on around at the moment, and certain things that are especially going on in our communities that's really shocking at the moment, and it really just caused me to think, that the world's view of what it means to be a man is really, really what's the word? It can almost become confusing. It's not really true. I don't know what you have to say about that. There's a lot of things that go on. Of recent, that Australian bloke that posed with a severed head of a man that was killed, and he asked his son to hold up the head, and his son took a picture, and on Twitter, this man actually said, "Well, that's my boy." He actually said that, So, in the eyes of the boy, he's going to be thinking, "Well, my father is a real man." That's what he's seeing. Now, going beyond any kind of religious debate, morally, it's wrong. Anyone can see that if you're getting your son to hold up a head that has been cut off a human being, and condoning it is absolutely wrong. And that's a view, a side that this young boy is going to see. He's going to remember this for the rest of his life, and most likely he's going to replicate it, because what you see, what you if you want to say, encounter, what you relate with every single day, what you engage with every single day of your life for years and years and years, what you see, subconsciously it dwells from within, and you will bring it out. I don't know what you think about that, Moose.
It's really, really, really shocking. I would have said no father will do that, but obviously a father has done it, so it's, you ask, so where's morality, about fatherhood, so what's fatherhood, it's fatherhood training murderers now. What is I'm saying? Because it's effectively showing a young child a way which is evil, holding a human head, not even an animal head,
That's true, I didn't think of it that way, because I know but it's not even an animal head. It's true, it's absolutely true.
It's a question about morality. So where is it now? Where it's to me, anyone that downplays a human life, for anything else, it's
shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really, really shocking. I'm short of words for it. I really, 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 I'm short of words for it. It's. My hope and prayer is for the young child to have an alternative view of life, because.
But how would he find that? That's the thing. It's quite. I know what you're saying. I'm sure you'd agree that it's quite difficult, isn't it? Especially in such circumstances like that. Because in you speaking as well, it made me think of. Because when you said, what really struck out to me was the value for human life. Now, especially in this day and age, we live in London, we're in London, we every single day it's become the norm, to pick up a Metro newspaper or another newspaper, and, to open up the front page or the middle page or the front page and see one boy has been stabbed. Boys these days have seen manhood as hurting someone else, or incorporating violence into their everyday life, and they actually take knives, they take guns, they take bats, all these weapons, anything they can find to inflict some form of pain or damage into another man or young male or another young female, whatever it may be, and they're, in their eyes and in the eyes of, if you want to say, people that they regard as family, they're bros, they're seen as being men. So there's been if you want to say, a false infusion of manhood in today's system, because taking life, for me, I feel that a person that does that is actually weak. It doesn't mean that you're a man, it actually means that you're a boy. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Strength isn't necessarily how much you are. Strength is not necessarily how swift you are in responding to violence. That's not strength. Strength actually is a measure of how you restrain or exercise self-control over situations.
That's true.
It's a strong man who can conquer a city but doesn't have a control over himself. It's I mean, there's not much you can say about it, because under the banner of weaknesses, or under the banner of the falsehood of trying to be a man, you see people have different forms of expression. So you see people who they think it's all about either how built up I am.
When you say built up, as in physically?
Yeah, physically.
Oh, so those guys that go to the gym is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Have the big muscles.
So some 10 manhood in that form, some 10 manhood in
maybe the money, the amount of money
the amount of money they make, some 10 manhood in how violent they are, you made mention of gangs, deep down we are men, we know that those guys doing it, deep down, is insecurity.
Yes, true.
Yeah, we know that all what they're actually seeking for is for someone or say the community to genuinely show love and care towards them, like to know that you are your value. Anyone who has a value or anyone who has a future, there are things that automatically they don't do.
But you're right, because if you look at it, if you were to, them road boys or them street boys, or that would go on road and do all those violent acts. Can you imagine if, I don't know, a rich businessman was to approach them and say, look, I want to mentor you to be the next CEO of my organization? Automatically, their thinking systems will change progressively over time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, well, I'm being given the opportunity to move from this environment to now another environment, which is deemed so much more better. I'm now gonna alter my mindset and now think differently. So you're absolutely right when it comes to